Apple has dominated the tech industry by giving us MacBooks, iPads, and the iPhones that shaped the smartphone industry 13 years ago. 2020 came, we have another iPhone from Apple, introducing the redesigned iPhone 12. What's up guys, Earl here with YugaTech, and I've been using this device for quite some time now, and I'm finally ready to give you my full thoughts about this new device. When I first opened the box and held the iPhone 12, it feels like a new iPhone unlike before. Undoubtedly, the design is pretty much the same as the old iPhone 5 with its boxy design, but it feels different from what the iPhone has been in the past. We still have the same layouts for buttons and ports as before, except for the SIM card slot, which is now located on the right side alongside with the volume rockers and Apple's signature mute switch. Sleep-wake button on the right, speaker grills, lightning port, and call microphone at the bottom, and at the back we still have the familiar camera layout as we have on the previous iPhone 11 with the Apple logo in the middle. Up front we have a little bit smaller notch that houses the Face ID sensor, the front-facing camera, and the call speaker, which also double as one of the stereo speakers. The glass is now flush to the iPhone's metal frame that looks pretty seamless, making it feel like a proper unibody design. In this iteration, Apple used a different glass to protect the display and called it ceramic coating, which on paper can handle drops up to 4 times better than last year. Unfortunately, we don't get the same protection at the back, so keep that in mind. As for water and dust resistance, the iPhone 12 has an IP68 rating, meaning it can be submerged in water with a maximum depth of 2 meters for up to 30 minutes, so you don't have to worry about using your phone outside when raining or even when you are swimming on a pool. Checking out the display, finally gone is the liquid retina display that we have on the iPhone 11. Instead, we now have a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel with a resolution of 1170 by 2532. And with a pixel density of 460 ppi. Since this is an OLED panel, colors are vibrant and accurate with deep blacks for better contrast when watching multimedia contents. A lot of people were disappointed that this year's iPhone still has the standard 60Hz refresh rate. As a long-time iPhone user, I kinda don't mind not having a high refresh rate on an iPhone since iOS have one of the most smoothest animation. For brightness, the iPhone 12 has 625 nits on a typical brightness and can go up to 1200 nits for peak brightness. This means you can use this device under direct sunlight without having trouble seeing what's on your display. Audio-wise, we still have the same stereo speaker setup that combines both downward-firing speaker and the earpiece speaker that makes multimedia consumption a lot better. For cameras, just like its predecessor, the iPhone 12 sports a dual camera setup at the back consisting of 12 megapixel wide with an aperture of 1.6 and a 12 megapixel ultra wide with an aperture of 2.4. Now for selfies, we have yet another 12 megapixel front-facing camera with an aperture of 2.2. Also note that all 3 cameras now have a night mode feature and support for deep fusion for more detailed images without over-sharpening the photo. In line with these camera improvements, photos look balanced in all aspects. Colors are not too saturated, photos are well exposed, even in night mode without having too much noise in the image, and also the high dynamic range is excellent. There's also an improvement on portrait mode as it wasn't just relying on face detection, instead it uses AI to map subjects. Selfies on the other hand, just like its rear cameras, the photos come out pretty naturally, especially skin tones. And as mentioned earlier, you can now take night mode selfies on the new iPhone 12, although sometimes it produces soft images, but overall, it does look decent. For videos, the iPhone 12 can record up to 4K at 60 frames per second and now supports 10-bit high dynamic range with Dolby Vision, which result in a cinema-grade clips that can be more flexible in post. Stabilization on the other hand is pretty smooth. Subjects are well exposed even in harsh lighting scenarios and can produce less noisy videos at night. The iPhone 12's camera is one of its strengths. It is straightforward and not complicated to use. You don't need to fiddle with the complicated settings and modes, so it just works. For software, the iPhone 12 runs on Apple's latest iOS 14, which was released a couple months ago. It packs new features like widgets, app library, picture-in-picture, pinned messages, inline replies on iMessage, new emojis and memojis, and more. New iPhone means a new powerful chipset from Apple. Just like its recently announced iPad Air, the new iPhone 12 models have the new A14 Bionic, which on paper is 30% faster graphics and a 40% boost as compared to last year's A13. But honestly, I can't notice any difference in the performance department between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12. If you are interested on benchmark scores, flashing it on screen right now. Now, looking at these scores, this might not be as valuable to an average Joe, but this practically means that the new iPhone 12 is pretty powerful and can handle any task you throw at it without any problems. And just like any other device, playing graphically intensive games for an extended period of time can make the iPhone 12 a little hot to the touch. All the iPhone 12 models now have 5G. Even though this technology is only accessible to certain areas, it is pretty amazing to see that Apple made it standard on all iPhones, unlike other smartphone manufacturers' strategy by releasing a separate 5G version on top of their flagship smartphones. But on my testing, I went to a 5G ready area and I can seem to make 5G working on my unit. Even though I have 5G ready SIM card, I'm not quite sure if it's just because I have the Hong Kong variant and it only works on the said country. Now for battery, the iPhone 12 has a 2815 mAh battery, which is pretty small by today's standards since most Android smartphones these days offer even up to a whopping 6000 mAh of battery. Even though it was a downgrade compared to the iPhone 11's 3110 mAh battery, I find myself charging it at the end of the day before I go to bed. It is also worth mentioning that the iPhone 12 does not have a power brick inside the box, so you have to keep that in mind. But at least you get a Lightning to USB Type-C cable that is compatible with Apple's speedy fast charging. Also, a new thing about the iPhone 12 series is the MagSafe charger. It is a magnetic puck attached to the series of magnets located at the back of the iPhone. MagSafe can deliver a maximum of 15 watts of power to the iPhone wirelessly. Also, Apple made quite a few accessories and cases specifically for the iPhone 12. In our standard video loop test, which entails the device at 50% brightness, 20% volume, airplane mode turned on, headphones plugged in, and constantly looping a 1080p clip, the iPhone 12 got a score of 19 hours and 30 minutes. Now to wrap things up, the iPhone 12 will set you back 49,990 pesos for the 64GB variant on Apple's authorized resellers. If you are coming from an iPhone XS or XR or an older generation of iPhone, the iPhone 12 is a pretty nice upgrade in all aspects. You get a pretty powerful chipset, stunning image quality from its new camera system, and a pretty ergonomic new design. But if you are from an iPhone 11, resist skipping the iPhone 12. Even though it's got all those flashy new features and a design, I think it's not worth the upgrade. So, what do you guys think about the iPhone 12? Is this gonna be your next iPhone? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit YugaTech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. This has been Arel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.